The Vortex UH1 Razor AMG, also known as the Huey, and we have the Eotech EXPS2. These are two great holographic sights, but a lot of people want to know which one is better. Let's talk about that. All right, guys, let's try to get this video knocked out. Okay, so holographic sights. I love them. I do use them. I use them at the range. I use it when I'm pig hunting during the daytime. I've used them shooting out of helicopters. I also have them for home defense. So, you know, they have a special place with me, and I do put them to use. So what I want to do here is just give you guys my honest feedback on these two holographic sights. I personally don't think one is better than the other. They both have their pros and cons, and very little negative things to say about either one. Very little. So let's go ahead and talk about the Vortex. And I remember when Vortex came down, they had some shooters. They were doing a 3-gun competition shoot at CCC down in Crescent. And we were also doing an aerial hog hunt. And so I went down there and hooked up with them, and we went out on an aerial hog hunt, and the rifles were equipped with the Vortex UH1 before they were even released. And we got onto a few hogs, and immediately I started shooting the UH1, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. You know, immediately it felt like I was right behind the Eotech. And so I told them, I said, hey guys, you're on to something here. Keep going forward. I wish you the best of luck. And I didn't say that in a negative way. You know, you got to think about who's been around the longest when it comes to these holographic sights, and it's Eotech. And there's not many companies out there that can really compete with those guys. They make a great sight. We all know that they've been used in the field. Law enforcement's using it. Civilians are using it. They're kicking butt. So when I saw this thing, I knew they were on the right track, and I had my fingers crossed that they would hurry up and get this thing released so I can play with it. So long story short, I ended up getting my hands on one and absolutely loved it. I have several of them now, and I have several Eotechs, okay? And at the end of the day, if you told me, hey, a.amantine, which holographic sight would you choose? It would be tough. It would be a tough decision. Like I said, they both have their pros and cons, okay? So a lot of people think, oh man, you know, this isn't an Eotech, you know, is this a knockoff? Is it kind of generic? No. If you look at the video that I posted up just earlier before I started talking here, you would see that, you know, the reticles they're pretty similar to each other, and they're really crisp. I'm not sure how well the camera picked that up, but they're really crisp, and they're very, very similar. But one thing that I did like about the Vortex is my sight picture. Whenever we were shooting pigs out of a helicopter, or even when I'm shooting at the range, I feel like the reticle isn't taking much of the screen that I have. So if you're looking behind the Eotech, you will see that your picture is the screen is a lot smaller, okay? And I'm saying screen, but it really is your lens. But if you have Eotech properly set up on your rifle, you don't want to have it too close to you. You want to have it kind of set up kind of far. But anyways, you will see that the reticle will take up most of your of your screen, your picture. Okay, where the Vortex, it doesn't. You still have a lot of your lens around the side. You still have a lot of your glass on the sides, and I love that because it feels like I have a better field of view with the Vortex. But to be honest with you, both of them, they're just as good. Now, some people have brought up some things in the past about parallax issues. The Vortex and the Eotech are parallax free. Now, if you're having any type of issues with your holographic sight from either company, send it in and get it repaired. What's nice about Vortex, and I will say this, their warranty is way better than Eotech's. Eotech will take care of the problem. I've had some problems with the Eotech in the past. With another unit, and it was the reticle was extremely fuzzy. We'll just say that, and it was really hard for me to work with a low setting or a high setting on my reticle. I just couldn't use it. So sent it in, it came back. I forgot exactly how long it took, but it did take a while. Now the Vortex, guys, I had a unit. As soon as I took it out of the box, I put the battery in it, turned on just fine. The next day I went to the range to go sight it in, no power. No power whatsoever. I didn't know what was going on. I sent it in to Vortex, and guess what? Within a week, I had a new Vortex UH1, and I have zero issues. That reticle is actually that Huey is actually set up on my AR-15 that I use for home defense. So I do trust these optics. I trust both of them equally, and I think they're great. Now, battery life. I know that's something else that some people have brought up. You're looking at anywhere from, we'll say 600 hours up to 1,500 hours with the Vortex, and I want to say it's 1,000 hours maximum on the Eotech. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never ran into an issue where I had to swap out batteries. I usually change my batteries out yearly, so I couldn't tell you which one's going to last the most, the longest. You know, if you own these things, you should change your batteries out on a yearly basis just to keep your butt covered on that. But anyways, so some of the features that I like and don't like. The Vortex UH1 has the brightness level buttons on the rear. You tap both of them, it turns it off. I will be honest with you guys, I don't like that. I wish it was on the side. And the only reason I'm saying this is whenever I'm running the magnifier behind this, if you watch my review on the Vortex Micro, whenever that magnifier is clicked over, you cannot reach your buttons, and then when you have it clicked over, it's kind of a tight area to get to your buttons. I don't like that. Some folks say, well, give yourself a gap. Yeah, you can do that, but I still like to have my magnifier close to the optic. So that's one thing I don't like about the Vortex. Actually, there's one more thing. We'll talk about that here in a second. The Eotech has its buttons on the side, and you have your up and down for your brightness levels. I do like that. Again, the side picture's a little small on that. That's one thing I don't like. Another thing that kind of, I don't know, it's one of those personal preference things. A lot of people think the Vortex UH1 is ugly, and to be honest with you, I think the Eotech is ugly. I think the hooded look of the UH1 is pretty sweet. I like it. But a lot of people don't. I know some people also think that it's heavier, and it's not. I don't have the exact number. I will put it down in the descriptions and show you guys what the weight is, but it's not heavier than the Eotech, okay? Also, it looks a lot bigger, and if you've seen the previous video that I just posted up, the clip, you will see that both units are almost the same length, and I personally think that the Eotech is a little bit wider. Actually, it is wider. But again, the field of view I think is better on the Vortex UH1. Now, this could be a deal breaker for some people. It wasn't for me, but it was something that I ran into, and it's night vision capabilities. So you can purchase an Eotech with night vision or non-night vision capabilities, okay? And so whenever you're using any type of clip-on night vision device or using your nods, you should be able to see your reticle pretty clear. Now, with the Vortex, that's not the case. You cannot run night vision with the Vortex UH1. So I know a lot of people are like, well, that kind of sucks, but how many people are actually out there using nods or using clip-on devices with their holographic sights? There's a very small number. So I personally think that's kind of a bad thing, to be honest with you, because if you're going to sell these things, I think it needs to have night vision capabilities and non-night vision capabilities, so you can pick and choose. But if you was to purchase the Eotech with the night vision capability, you will spend the extra money on that. I don't know exactly what the cost is, but the price does go up. If you look on Optics Planet, you will see the Eotech without the night vision capabilities and the Vortex UH1, there is about $100 difference. And the Vortex is going to be the cheaper one, okay? So, you know, if you guys were out there making a decision and saying, hey man, you know, which one would you get? You know, which one would you recommend? I would honestly say you couldn't go wrong either way. You couldn't go wrong either way. If you just set and determined to have those night vision capabilities, then you need to go with the Eotech. The Vortex is not going to offer that. You're not going to get those night vision capabilities out of the UH1. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. I hope you like what you see. If you did, please hit the like button, get those subs going, get the notifications going, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep that content rolling.